I had an Instagram account deleted because I said that I was starting a new decentralized country. It actually put quite a dent in business because that was where clients were coming from. That was what was working. But it didn't cause me to give up on that vision, on that ambition. So for the last 3 months I've been here in Vanuatu. This gym came into existence, the first phase. I trained there every day. It's got bars of different heights to jump up and hang on, 9 foot, 9.5 foot, 10 foot. Lots of unique little features. Another one that's there for the grip strength. So much more that we're going to do here, but it is really an opportunity in this place to do and build what you want to build. There is government, there are regulations, but it's not over-regulated to the point where it's prohibitive to express yourself and test ideas and expand. And we've got some really big announcements and opportunities coming up for those who are interested in these kinds of ideas. Seeing how good we can make a place, think about what your ideal country would function like, and moving towards living like that, whether it's something that gets a passport and diplomatic status and all those things. It's a big process and a big conversation, but how you want to be living, that's the decision that every individual can make. And so we're making some decisions here, and I'm encouraging you to make a decision about how you want to live, what standard you want to live to, what you want to offer your children, what that might look like, what you would need to do to live more authentically, more true to your values. We make too many compromises. When you compromise on all of your standards, you compromise on the food standards, you compromise on the schooling standards, you compromise on the water standards, you end up being completely compromised. And that's not a good place to live from. It's not easy. I'm not telling you that it's easy to set up multiple bases around the world and to have an online business where you have more options and more possibilities. But there is a pathway to this, and it won't be as challenging for you as it has been for me. 20 years ago, even longer, I knew that I couldn't just settle for the way things were. I knew I couldn't take a 9 to 5. I knew I didn't really feel at home in the country that I grew up in. I always felt like an outsider, and I didn't want to live my whole life like that, and I didn't want to bring up children in that world. And so we've done something different now, and it's progressing, and there's a lot of exciting news coming, opportunities over these next few weeks and days. We have launched the app. The new Athlete Project app is live. It's full access to the first 1,000 people that get on there. It's worth $10,000 to be part of this program, but anyone can join. Some people have already invested their $10,000 and they're locked in at that for the long term. But anyone can join. And the way that you keep your place within that 1,000 is through athletic excellence. At some point, you might be asked to make an investment, but if you're good enough athletically, you'll always be welcome there. And so there's an opportunity for you to be an elite athlete. I'm looking to sponsor professional athletes in the new athlete system in the way that CrossFit became a thing where you could build your life around it. That's my goal with New Athlete, where you could build your whole life around being a new athlete. There's a lot of professional athletes in the world, and most of them don't really have a great vision for themselves, and their athletic ability is really pigeonholed and in one area. And I wonder what would happen if there were new professional athletes who had a bigger vision for themselves and for life, and they were able to express that athletically, maybe a bit more like a Cirque du Soleil performer, but not coming out every night and doing the same thing over and over again, a bit like a factory worker, in the way that some people don't want to be Cirque du Soleil performers because they have to keep doing the same thing over and over. It's a little bit like McDonald's of circus. But we're looking to do something new. As you can hear and you can see, I'm a visionary. I'm someone who can envision things differently. And sometimes it seems crazy to other people that, okay, what are you doing? How are you going to do that? How is that even possible? But now it's done. You know, we have this new app, this training system. I'm paying people in Bitcoin to become more athletic. I'm well on the way to 1,000 professional athletes working within the system. New great coaches continue to emerge from the system. People would know about Knees Over Toes guy Ben Patrick. People know about Bali Time Chamber and Nico, but they don't necessarily know about Justin Mucci or Mucci Strength with his 225,000 followers, who 2 years ago was stuck in college and not happy with where he's going in life. Or Evan Keane, who had a few thousand followers and now has 225,000 followers and has a beautiful online program with Ancestral Athlete, super innovative. these people will continue to come from this environment because it's a creative, supportive environment where excellence is expected, it's appreciated, it's supported, and it's a supportive environment where you're consistently masterminding. So we just had another mastermind session yesterday about what's next in Vanuatu and how we can really make an impact in a positive way in this country and on the world through what we do here. We had another meeting today and we literally drawing up plans, maps. This is where this is going to go. This is where that's going to go. These masterminding sessions, we all need these masterminding sessions. I'm fortunate enough that I get to do this all the time. I get to do this professionally. I meet with men, I discuss their futures with them, and their futures tend to get exponentially better. That's my thing. I'm a manifesting generator. If you believe in the human design stuff, whichever system you look at, it comes out the same for me. I'm the visionary type. I can always see something more for myself, for my children, and for you, for whoever comes around me. And I have an ability to help others see that vision for themselves, but not just see it. I can also connect people with other people who can help them to do it. So I told the story of Evan and Justin there in brief, but there's actually a guy named Liam Howe who is a bulletproof baller, who is a huge part of them doing what they've done. And he's got his own successful business also through that same path. He was working at Tesco when we started together. He's an exceptional young man, but he wasn't on an exceptional path when he decided to come and have a look at what we're doing with the network. And so, rather than, it's always been at least a few $1,000s, usually $10,000 to get involved in this stuff. But we need this 1,000 men who decide, yes, I'm all in. You don't have to start all in, but the ones who aren't all in, the ones who aren't progressing will be, they'll lose their spot within the 1,000. So there'll always be people applying and people pushing. If you're not ranked in the top 1,000, it's not going to work for you. Now, the athletic ranking is one thing, but we're also looking for men who want to help get the best out of other men. So bring a tutorial to the platform, bring some education to the platform, open up the opportunity for workshops, for live workshops, for in-person stuff, lead your local community, lead local events, catch up regularly with others, have connecting calls. 100% we can change mankind's athletic future with this. How much budget has to be going into these new athletes and supporting people to hit leaderboard scores and records and prize money for the best athlete of the year and these things before people start to really take it seriously? It's not that much. And as it gets more serious, then it generates more money, it generates more interest, and generates more possibility to keep doing more things with these physical locations. We've also got a project in Bali, with 2 projects in Bali, a project in Montenegro, a project in Greece. We've also got the best training technology. Most of my content is about that. The stuff that I'm delivering with the book, I would have paid any amount of money, I would have given anything to understand how to prevent the injuries, how to get to the next level in performance, a framework around the skills stuff. Everyone thinks about the skills as a side project, but skills are life, skills are joy, skills are the thing that mankind loves. People go and skate and surf because balance is exhilarating. It's exhilarating to travel through the world on balance, on a BMX bike, on a downhill mountain bike. We love balance. And yet you go to a commercial gym and there's no balance. And it's actually ridiculed by people who are meant to be experts in strength and conditioning. That has to change. Balls are okay to play with, but you play with your one specific ball. You're a basketball player, you don't touch a volleyball. It's ridiculous. Balls are an art. Master all the balls. Play with them all to a reasonable extent. And beats are built into our bones. We're meant to dance. We're meant to be on the rhythm. But it's been robbed from us. It's been stolen. It's been taken from our culture. Skills need to come back. Skills precede force. The paradigm within force is a new and innovative one as well. And health comes before that. Cleaning the body, nourishing the body. And it all starts, first of all, the first pillar of health, the first pillar of performance is the mind, is making the decision, I'm going to be excellent. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to continue to explore and find the thing that works best for me and share it with my family, share it with my friends, maybe set up a gym, maybe set up an online program and share it with people from around the world. So if you'd like my help to set your individual standards, if you'd like to be part of this type of a network, that first 1,000 is live. We've got 580, 590, something like that. If each of those men was to invite one person, we're full. And then we just push the standards up. And every month, the bottom 100 will lose their place in the top 1,000. Doesn't mean they're cast to the wolves, but we need that 1,000 high performance. That's what's going to change the world. 1,000 athletes, 999 athletes, plus me. See if I can find my place, how long I can maintain my place in the top 1,000. And any professional athlete or any athlete who has a specific target, I want to play in the Premier League for football, I want to play in the NBA. There's a new standard to be set around that. There's a model here with specific training, and then there's a model with general training. And by doing both of these things, by understanding this paradigm, you will become a world champion athlete if you're able to fully apply yourself. And you have some genetic potential. But this is a better paradigm for developing athletes. I coached a world champion team. I coached Sonny Bill Williams, who is a multi-sport. He played at the highest level in 4 different sports. Well, 3 if you don't consider his boxing career to be that elite, but he fought some good fighters. And I can tell you that they didn't get developed as well as they could have because they didn't have this paradigm. I coached a world champion team. We produced the most force fastest. But we didn't have this whole way of looking at this. We didn't have this whole system. We need the ATG piece, the range piece. That's part of the force paradigm. But we also need to develop elastics to a higher